All right, so it looks like madness on this table right now, but we are going to put some order in this madness. And what we're making today is a Mosaic tree shelving unit. And what we're actually going to do with all these pieces of wood, this is actually scrap wood I have here. And this is a great way to use scrap wood and make something that is going to turn out to be beautiful. Now, this, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to do this in a couple parts. So today I'm going to do one part of it. Next week, Thursday, I'm going to go into the other parts. I may run it into a third segment because it's actually a pretty big project. So what you will need is a piece of ply that is cut 4 feet wide by 2 feet in depth, all right? And then you need a whole lot of scrap wood that to cover the surface area of that ply. You're going to need some wood glue, and then you're going to need some 1.25" brad nails, followed by a hammer, of course, to get those brad nails in. Now, I don't have the brad nails and the hammer with me because I can't really hammer this on set. I have to do this in my workshop later on, but we're going to get started with this right now. So the first thing you're going to do is like, this doesn't need to be cut into any particular shape. What you really need to do is just organize it in a way that covers the whole surface area of the thing. Even if it overlaps the ply itself, that's fine, because what you're going to do is, again, offset, because I can't sew in the studio. You're going to flip it over and you're going to sew off the excess from the side. So let's get into this right now. So today we're going to play a little bit of Tetris. So you're going to glue up each piece, and as I said, you're just going to put it on your ply backing. So the ply is going to act as backing, and you're just going to lay out all these pieces to cover the surface area of your ply. So as I continue here now, so as I said, this is going to be in a few parts, and I'm going to start today. I'm going to do some work offset to continue it, and then in like a couple weeks you'll see the finished product. So we're just going to continue. Like, again, they could be any color, they could be, you know, it's just scrap wood you're using. And what we're going to do is get this whole thing going. So what you're going to need is you're going to work firstly with the wood glue. Glue each piece individually. It's a little bit tedious, to be honest. But what you want to do, which is very important, is to stagger your pieces, because it would look very boring if you just put them straight and just in line with each other. Now, you could do this in many different patterns, and you could use many different shades. It doesn't matter, because again, this is scrap wood, and this is a great way, as I said, to upcycle your scrap wood, you know. So we're talking about reducing, reusing, and recycle. In this case, we're really reusing here, and it's really important to, create as little waste as possible. So this that would have otherwise been waste, we're now using it for a purpose, and it's going to end up being beautiful in the end. So if you see over here, all these random pieces, again, they are random sizes, random shapes. I don't even have to put them all in the same direction, because that's the beauty of it. You're making a mosaic piece, so when everything comes together, it would look really, really nice. So I'm going to continue gluing this over here. And if you look closely, you'll see a little bit of a pattern beginning to form. We are, of course, in the early stages of it. And again, if you have some gaps and, some things don't quite line up, it's fine. It's absolutely fine. That is the beauty of doing this type of project, because with a mosaic, it's more of an artistic piece than a technical piece. So what you want to do, for those of you listening on radio, what I'm doing right now is applying glue to each piece of wood before I place it on my ply backing. Now, the ply I'm using is actually 3/4 inch marine ply. And what we're doing right here, right now, is just staggering each piece so that we'd have a pattern beginning to form. As we continue playing this Tetris over here, as I said, you could use different widths, and that's what actually makes it really interesting. So I have this piece here that was previously stained that I cut off from a previous project. I have different pieces that are unstained, different pieces that are wide, some are narrow, and I'm just placing them in not exactly a random order, I'd say, but I'm placing them in a way that is not too uniform, just so that when the finished product is done, you see something that's really interesting, something artistic. In the next part of this, I'm actually going to add a branch to the backing piece, and the branch would then have appendages going left and right, and on those appendages is where I'm going to set up to build my shelves. So the finished product would then have shelves that go in line where the branches would have ended. All right, so I'm looking for a piece to fit in here. And again, if you have gaps inside, that's okay. If you so desire, you could fill those gaps with putty wood putty or wood filler. You can also fill those gaps with, you could just do it with stain and they could actually have just pieces missing in between. That's absolutely fine. Again, if your wood has stain on it, it's fine. You could choose to stain this entire thing in one color. You could also choose to leave it like this, how it's randomly colored. It's all good because again, it's more of an artistic piece, and that's the beauty of art. It is not extremely uniform.
So this is a 3-part series, right?
Yes, a 3-part series because it's a big project. You know, I'm doing a little bit of bigger projects to make things a little more interesting.
To mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so if you want to see the finished product, you have to come back next week and the following week when we'll see what this is about. Right now, it just looks like a pile of wood, but I'm convinced and I'm confident that it will turn into something beautiful.
Yeah, most definitely.
All right.
All right, and this DIY segment, DIY Now, is brought to you by TNZ Home Improvement and Rustic Works Furniture Company.
Do it yourself, brought to you by TNZ Home Improvement.